Hello everyone, welcome back to our movie craft series. Today we are talking about episode 3, The Invisible Architecture. Make sure if you are watching this video on shorts, please visit our channel and see the full video. Let's dive into the video. Think about the last story that truly moved you. The last film that made you forget you were sitting in the dark theater. The last narrative that felt so real, so effortless, you were simply swept away. It probably felt like a seamless journey, didn't it? As if the storyteller was just telling a story, but it's not that simple. That effortless feeling is an illusion. It is the result of a hidden blueprint, an invisible architecture that has been guiding storytellers for over 2000 years. Every story has a departure point, a series of stops where things change, and a final destination. If you don't build the track first, the train goes nowhere. Today, we learn how to lay these tracks. Welcome back to Cinema Craft series, season 1, The Craft of Screenwriting. In our last episode, we forged our idea into a logline, our story's destination, but a destination is useless without a map. Today, we draw that map. We are going to explore the single most important, most debated, and the most powerful concept in narrative storytelling, the three act structure. This episode is 3, the invisible architecture. Beginning, middle, and end. It sounds insistently simple, doesn't it? But that is the foundation of it all. The concept was first codified in Aristotle in his Poetics around 335 BC. He observed that a complete story has a beginning that sets up the action, a middle that complicates it, and the end that resolves it. In screenwriting, we called this a three act structure. Act 1 is a setup, Act 2 is a confrontation, Act 3 is resolution. Now, why have in this structure survived for millennia? Because in the mirror, the way we as humans experience life processes, information we understand, thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. We understand life struggle and rebirth. A story built on this foundation resonates on a deep psychological level. It feels satisfying. Think of it like a joke. Act 1 is the setup. A man walks into a library. Act 2 complicates it and asks the librarian for a book of paranoia. The Act 3 is the punchline, the resolution. The librarian whispers, they are right behind you. Without that structure, the information is just nice. With it, it is a story. For the rest of this episode, we are going to use one of the most structural, perfect Indian film of the modern era of primary case study, Rajkumar Hirani's Three Idiots. Act 1 typically compresses the first 25 to 30 pages of your script. Its job is to introduce the world and the hero and to get the story's engine running. Let's break down the key moments or beats of Act 1 using 3 idiots. The first beat in the opening page is snapshot of hero's world and their problem. In 3 idiots, our opening image is the Farhan mid-flight, getting a call and faking a heart attack to get off the plane. It's a chaotic funny and immediately tells us that this story is about friends who will do anything for each other. It establishes the tone and the stakes. Next is the theme stated. Sometimes in the first few pages, a character will state the film's central philosophical questions. In the flashback, the college director Viru Sastrabuddhe or Virus gives his speech about how life is a race. Life is a race. Run. This introduced the central thematic conflict. Is life a race for success or journey of learning? Then comes the setup. This is where we see the before picture. We met Farhan who wants to be a photographer but forced into a engineering. We met Raju who is terrified of failure because of his family poverty. We see their ordinary, high pressure world at the Imperial College of Engineering. We also meet the enigmatic Ranko, our protagonist, who challenges this world from day one, and that leads to catalyst or the inciting incident. This is the moment the knock the hero world of its axis. For the main plot, the search of Ranko, the catalyst is the phone call. But for the main flashback story, the catalyst is the moment Ranko truly challenges the system, leading to a direct confrontation with virus over the suicide of a student named Joy Lobo. This is the point of no return. Finally, we have the debate. The character briefly question the journey. Should I really do this? In the present day, Farhan and Raju debate whether they should ditch a drunken cater or continue their search of Ranko in the past. They consistently debate whether following Ranko's rebellious path in the worth the risk of explosion. This all this all culminates in the break into Act 2. The hero makes a conscious choice to go on the journey. Farhan and Raju decide to commit their search, and in the past, they fully embrace their friendship with Ranko, solidifying their opposite to virus system. The setup is complete. We are on our way. Act 2, the longest part of your movie. It's the journey, the struggle, the confrontation. If Act 1 was about setting up the problem, Act 2 is about making the problem 100 times worse. It begins with B story. This is often a love story or a relationship with a mentor that helps teach the hero the film's theme. For Ranko, this is the relationship with Pia, virus daughter. Through their interactions, we explore the film theme, love, passion, and defining parental expectations. Next up is the fun and games. This is the promise of the premise. It's the poster of your movie. In 3 idiots, this is the heart of the film. The pranks, the brilliant inventions, the hilarious classroom confrontation, the all is well sung. It's where we have the most fun watching our heroes be heroes and our villains be villains. But things can't stay fun forever. We reach the midpoint around page 60 something happens that raises the stakes dramatically. It's often a false victory or false defeat. In 3 idiots, a major midpoint is when Ranko helps Raju's father during a medical emergency, proving his philosophy's real world value. But this is immediately following by virus raising the stakes, making the final exam expectationally difficult, putting the boy's futures jeopardy. This leads to a section called Bad Guys Close In. The antagonist forces start to gain the upper hand. The pressure on Raju from his family and virus become unbearable. Farhan gets a job offer that would kill his photography dreams. The system is winning. The walls are closing in. The culminates in the all is last moment. This is the hero's lowest point. It often includes whiff of death. For Raju, this is literal. Crushed by the pressure, he attempts suicide and left paralyzed. For Farhan, it is the death of his dream. For Ranko, it is the moment he expelled and loses his friends. It seems like everything is over. Following this is the dark night of the soul. The hero is broken and looks themselves and realize their old way of thinking was wrong. After his recovery, Raju, rid of his fear, confidently attends a job interview and tells the corporate panel exactly what he thinks. Farhan confronts his father and passionately pleads to allow to follow his dreams. They have finally truly learned Ranku's lesson. They have changed. This newfound strength gives them the final piece of the puzzle they need to break into Act 3. The hero, armed with the lessons from the Dark Knight to the Soul, makes a plan. They decide to stop reacting and start being proactive. The plan is set. They will face their fears and confront the villain head on. This leads directly to final the climax. This is the final showdown. It's where the B story collide in the three idiots. A massive storm knocks out the power just as Pia's story goes into labor. Ranko, Farhan, and Raju must use their engineering ingenuity to build a vacuum delivery device to save the baby. It's a life or death situation that forces Virus to finally confront Ranko and admit he is an extraordinary student. It's the ultimate test, and they pause. After the climax, we have a final image. This is the after picture, a mirror to our opening image. The film ends with our heroes. Farhan is successful wildlife photographer. Raju is successful executive. Finding Ranko in Ladakh is not just a successful in the traditional sense. He is Funshuk Wangju, a famous scientist with hundreds of patents, running a school for young innovators. The final image is one of peace, true success, and enduring friendship, a stark contrast to chaotic opening. The journey is complete, the architecture is sound. Now, while Three Idiots is a perfect textbook example, some films use this structure to brilliant suppressive effect. Look at Sujai's social thriller Kahani. It follows the structure perfectly. Act 1, a pregnant Vidya Bagchi arrives in Kolkata searching for her missing husband. Act 2, she follows clues, hits death ends, and confronts assassins. Act 3, she finally confronts the main villain, but the genuine genius is the midpoint. The midpoint is when a government agent Khan tells Vidya that her husband Arnab never existed, that he was the fiction. This does not just raise the stakes, it pulls the entire ruse out from under the audience. It forces us to re-evaluate everything we have seen. It's a masterclass in the using structural beat not just to advance the plot, but to fundamentally change our understanding of the story itself, proving the structure is not a cage but a playground. We have built the skeleton. In next video, we are going to give our story its soul. We move from the what and how to why. We will be exploring what your story is really about with episode 4 theme, the soul of your story. Until then, build your blueprint, lay out your tracks. Bye bye.